Mr. Speaker, I rise today to call attention to a 12-year-old girl, Iman Ali, who is stuck in Djibouti. Iman and her father, Aman Ali, who is an American citizen, are in Djibouti because of President Trump's flawed executive order to ban travel to the United States. The Ali family is like many immigrant families throughout our country, including my own, who came to the United States in hopes of achieving the American dream. As Americans, we know that this Statue of Liberty is a symbol of freedom and new beginnings for immigrants past and present, and it's a symbol around the entire world for the values that America holds. Since the founding of our country, immigrants from all over the world have been coming to the United States to make a better life for themselves and their families or to escape persecution. Mr. Ali and his wife immigrated to the United States and earned their U.S. citizenships in hopes of achieving that American dream. They have been making a living in my district and are supporting their two daughters in Los Banos, California. But they've also been living with sadness and heartbreak because their 12-year-old daughter, Iman, was born in Yemen before the Civil War. And for 6 years, the Ali family has been working through the appropriate channels to get their daughter a visa so she can gain U.S. citizenship, be reunited with her family legally. On January 26, after years of going through a thorough vetting process, Iman finally received her immigrant visa. After 6 years, you could call that extreme vetting. One day later, on the 27th, President Trump turned the Ali's families and hundreds of other families' lives upside down by signing an executive order to implement a travel ban to prohibit refugees and others from coming to the United States. That is not the American way. Hours after this executive order was signed, Iman and her father went to the airport in Djibouti, passed through security, and when boarding the plane, Iman was told by the airline that she could not board because of the recently signed executive order. The immigrant visa issued to Iman would have given her status as a lawful permanent resident upon entering the U.S. And since she's 12 years old and both her parents are U.S. citizens, Iman would have immediately been eligible to file for U.S. citizenship. President Trump's executive order is preventing this legal process from taking place and is putting Iman and her father in harm's way while they wait in Djibouti. In the past 48 hours, the Trump administration has been defending this executive order, saying it's not a travel ban or a ban on refugees. So I'd like to ask the president, how is this executive order not a ban on refugees or individuals who have been legally approved to enter the United States? It certainly is a ban for Iman. And how is keeping this 12-year-old girl out of the United States from joining her family making America safer? It's not the making America safer. Extreme vetting was in place during both the Bush and Obama administrations. We just didn't call it that by name. This travel ban is flawed, both in its lack of adherence to American values and its technical execution, which is banning Iman from coming here, and it could possibly be ruled unconstitutional. A bipartisan group of national security experts agree that the executive order does not make Americans safer and could potentially put our country at greater risk for terrorist attacks. I agree with them. Since September 11th, 2001, we have focused a bipartisan effort to improve American security for Americans both home and abroad, and by and large, it's been very successful. It is our first constitutional duty to ensure the national defense and the safety of Americans. But I think President Trump's executive order is doing the opposite. The executive order will create a rallying cry for Islamic extremists around the world to say that America is now engaged in a war against the religion of Islam. No good can come from that. It is clear that this executive order is putting Iman and her father in harm's way in Djibouti. So, Mr. President, Secretary Kelly, I appeal to your compassion and to your common sense. This 12-year-old girl, Iman, has been extremely vetted for 6 years, or whatever you'd like to call it. She is not a threat to our country. Let her join her American family. My staff and I are working diligently through the appropriate channels with the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of State to bring Mr. Ali and his daughter home as soon as possible. I yield back the balance of my time.